Snakes. They're a scary creature. Everyone knows this. But there is a people that were never scared of them because in their head, snakes were just another form of human being. These were the Bantus, the Maasai, and other people in Madagascar. They show full veneration for these snakes, including taking them as pets and treating them very, very well, even beyond living human beings. These animals could not be killed, crushed, or taken away and removed from whatever location they were in, not because they were beautiful, majestic, or anything like that, but simply because they represent ancestors. One notable story is the snake that bit a girl. The story starts with the snake biting the girl for no apparent reason, and so human beings start to chase it. While it is being chased, it finds a bank where there is a river and a man on a boat. It convinces the man to let him on the boat. The man asks halfway through the trip, why are there people chasing the snake? The snake says, because it bit a girl, and now it will bite the man. The man says, why would you want to bite me? What have I done to you? The snake says, because men are evil, and not even one is good. The man obviously disagrees. The snake says, go ask the trees. First, he goes to a specific type of tree, a fig tree. The fig tree says, of course men are evil. They cut me down. Then he goes to a different type of tree. That different type of tree says, of course men are evil. They use me, cut me down, and create their creations. He goes back to the snake. The snake says, see, now I shall bite you. He says, wait, let me ask one more tree. When he returns from that tree, that also says that men are evil for what they have done to the trees, he decides to choose a different type of person. The snake says, choose anyone you want. No matter who you ask, they will agree that men are evil. And so he chooses his wife. He goes to his wife and asks her, are men bad? His wife says, of course they are, but we love you anyway. The man, disappointed, looks at his wife and says, then the snake will bite me, because he said, if I cannot find a person who agrees that men are good, then he will bite me. The woman comes up with a plan and says, take me to the snake. She cooks something for the snake. Then they wander to the snake. The snake, seeing the man, says, okay, what did your wife say? The man says, men are bad. The snake, ready to bite the man, is interrupted by the woman. The woman says, before you bite my husband, taste this. She takes the pot, which was filled with porridge, and puts it right in front of the face of the snake, and makes him taste the cool part of the porridge. The snake, liking the taste, decides to plunge into the pot, burning to death. It's stories like these that kept men humble and made them preserve any animal they could, making sure they don't overfarm and praying to the animals so that they do not deplete the forests and plunge to their own destruction. No one on earth can deny the amazingness of Africa's wildlife. These animals are widespread far into the past and continue into our present. But since the invention of guns, so many animals that would be considered completely strange to the modern mind had existed all over Africa. One of them being a type of ostrich-like bird that was photographed to be taller than an average ostrich. But there's one animal that you never find in Africa. You'll find almost any other type, and that's the bear. Why is it that Africa doesn't have any bears? We know that so many animals that we can find in Brazil have their sister animals somewhere in Africa. So why? Well, the answer is there used to be a bear in Africa called the Atlas bear. But with the invention of modern weapons, they went extinct.
For many people, the brown bear is associated with the ecosystems of North America and northern Eurasia. However, you might be surprised to find out that there once lived a subspecies of the brown bear that lived in Africa. This animal is known as the Atlas bear. The Atlas bear was recognized by the scientific community formally in 1840, when an English military officer named Crowther first found the animal in northern Africa. As a result, this animal's scientific name is Ursus arctos crowtheri, although some people consider it to be its own species, Ursus crowtheri. The Atlas bear is named after the Atlas Mountains, which made up its primary habitat, although it could also be found in North African countries such as Algeria, Morocco, and Libya. Just like with brown bears such as the grizzly bear and the Eurasian brown bear, the Atlas bear found itself most at home in forest or mountainous environments. It's unlikely that this bear lived in regions south of the Sahara Desert, such as the many African savannas, but it shared its habitat with many iconic savanna predators. These included the African leopard and the also recently extinct Barbary lion. The Atlas bear could measure up to 2.7 meters or 9 feet long and weigh up to 450 kilograms, around 1,000 pounds. On average, the Atlas bear was noticeably smaller than its northern cousins, with many of its proportions being as small or even smaller than that of the American black bear. It also differed in that its muzzle had a black mark as opposed to the white one we see on brown bears today, and that the fur on its underparts was of an orange color. The Atlas bear was known to be mostly herbivorous, consuming food such as acorn or nuts. That being said, just like other bears, it could have consumed meat such as carrion as well. Genetic studies of the Atlas bear bring up some surprising insights as to its relationship between different populations of brown bears. For one, they reveal that the Atlas bear isn't closely related to the brown bears of the Middle East such as the Syrian brown bear. This means that the migration of the brown bear to Africa was a movement that dates back even further into prehistory. There are also studies that show that the Atlas bear could not be genetically linked to any other population of brown bear, indicating how distinct this population of Ursus arctos was. Despite only being given a proper scientific name in 1844, the Atlas bear had shared a long history with human beings. One such group of humans that had a huge impact on the bear populations was the Roman Empire. During the Romans' conquest of North Africa, they oftentimes ended up hunting this bear. In addition, many individuals were captured and put into arenas where they were pitted against other animals such as lions or tigers, in addition to Roman gladiators. The Atlas bear became even more threatened after the invention of firearms, and in 1870 the last Atlas bear was shot and killed in Morocco. The Atlas bear represented an example of a well-known animal in an unconventional location, and without the proper conservation efforts, other rare brown bear subspecies from the Gobi bear of Mongolia to the Tibetan blue bear could meet the same fate.
Today we associate birds with flight, one of the biggest wonders that man has always wanted to achieve, and did several times in history in many ways. But this flightless bird that was found in Madagascar was something of a marvel beyond normal because it was many times the size of an ostrich and it could kill a man way faster. And being that it was a bird, it protected its eggs in the same way that an ostrich would, or any other bird. This bird was too big and scary to be hunted by humans, but humans did poach their eggs. Their eggs were some of the biggest ever, especially in proportion to their body. This is because, and genetic evidence has proven this recently, they are genetically related to the kiwi in New Zealand. This bird is not thought to have been extinct because of man, but it is suspicious that man arrives and it disappears.